Good evening. Good evening. How you doing? Oh, hold on. I was gonna switch my chair. Sitting in this chair all day. I need to spend money on a proper new chair. One chair. I have 3 chairs here. One hurts my lower back, one hurts my upper back, and the other one hurts my butt. And so I can't just sit and be comfortable. So if I want to avoid pain by the end of the day, I have to be constantly switching chairs. It's really annoying. But I have the money, I just don't want to spend it right now. Because I've spent so much money lately. Oh yeah! Side quests opened up. But also I'm supposed to go straight to the next... I guess this is the next exploration bit. I guess do I have new hunts? I don't remember. It's been a week since I played this. Right, we have 1. A C in the new area. That's right, okay. I mean, I may as well just grab the side quest now.
Did you see that?
I thought about going to the new area, seeing the cutscene, and then coming back, but... I'm here. We'll grab them now. They might all just be, doable within the hideout.
Blasted book. Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can
Huh?
bloody well get me out of it.
Huh?
I need a hand with a recipe.
What?
Are you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, people wolf it down. So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blooming kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favorites,
Oh,
I
it's a
suggest you lend
pride
me a
thing.
hand.
Or ego thing. My kitchen, everyone should be eating my food.
I've never been one to play favorites, Molly.
Me.
And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
I've worked in food
fried
services. Is not
fortress of
uncommon
Skyworm.
in the kitchen, to be
It's one
honest.
heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out Skyworm livers and Drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Well, that's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
The awkward part in kitchens is if somebody makes something, and they go here, try this, and it's made of something that you really don't like an ingredient you really don't like. Say Brussels sprouts is an easy one. Say someone fries them up in a certain way. They're like, oh, this is my Brussels sprouts. Try some. And you're like, I really just don't like Brussels sprouts.
I can certainly try.
If you say that in real life, if you just say that in life outside of a restaurant kitchen, people are like, oh yeah, no worries. If you say that to a cook or a chef, they get so fucking offended. And they're like, we'll just try it. And then you can be like, well, sorry, I'm not a fan. I just don't like Brussels sprouts. They get so fucking offended. They're so sensitive about that. They're like, how dare you not like my food? It's like, not everybody likes everything. You need to fucking chill.
Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them, as always.
I hope my voice doesn't sound too different. Because I finally got around to cleaning out my microphone. And aside from like the foam, excuse the noise. You know, aside from like the foam bit that goes on the outside, there's also a foam bit that goes on the inside of this cage. That's no longer there. Because when I tried to like pull it out to like wash it, it literally disintegrated into a pile of dust. And I was like, I'm glad I'm doing this, because I was probably inhaling dust. I'd noticed for a while recently. Every time I'm at the microphone, I'm like constantly clearing my throat.
It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage, a classic. One of my
How you doing,
favorites, in
Sarayu?
fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here.
Doesn't okay.
I don't suppose you know
I've said
where
this
I might
before,
find
but now I have
skywalkers and
Sarayu
brakesmen.
to ask directly. Doesn't this guy
So
sound like the
fabled
scholar from
Sandra
FF10?
delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful.
Trying to say on Twitter, that's fair.
Mortress never failed to make my mouth water.
Opening it at all this week, especially today, is just like, it's a nightmare.
Skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers. How very Sambraquois.
One would have thought.
I'm actually also not
disciples of
listening to this at
Bahamut
all.
Would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but
Probably
apparently
should.
not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
Oh, I get to kill the thing.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the Drake's Mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance. A herb
Right?
which
I
grows
think
along
they did
the
it on
North Beach
purpose.
coast.
I think it's like
I
an
gather
homage.
that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of Skyworm is undoubtedly a typical
Progress
dish
in
of the time.
Renaissance. Which one is that? I've never heard of it.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other.
At least I don't
To
think I have.
Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
But yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that the ancient historian in FF16 sounds very similar to the ancient historian in FF10. I think they went out of their way to like find a similar sounding voice.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tires?
Oh, a fan-made port of FF1. I see. Oh, with new jobs. Ooh. A humble request. Master Clive, I apologize for this sudden and untoward gesture. Circumstances have forced me to seek immediate aid, and there is none other to whom I may turn. Your most esteemed Lord Uncle has presented me with a task most vexing. I fear I am wholly unable to perform his vaulted expectations, namely due to a marked lack of martial aptitude on my part. To wit, I am but a manservant, not a mercenary. While I maintain the fitness ample to attend to the needs of a manor, to the attending of bandits and back alleys I am sorely ill-equipped. If it please you, my lord, prithee come and see me at Martha's Rest while I shall proceed to explain my predicament in full.
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
That's the voice line saying, you didn't read the letter, dummy, so we're going to tell you, what it said anyway. Oh, I meant to catch up. I meant to make sure we're caught up on the encyclopedia while we're in front of Harpocrates.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge
Sometimes
lost.
I think about
I don't believe you've read
doing
this
one of those
particular
like
chapter
Final
before.
Fantasy marathon type things where you play all the Final Fantasies, and I think instead of just playing like the mainstream
You wish
ones
to
when I see
study the
people doing it,
tomes?
I'll play all of them. But then I realized, one, I'd have to be unemployed, and that would take me like a fucking year. Because there's like 70 or 80 Final Fantasy games. Like, if you just go to every offshoot, you go to like all the mobile games, you go to just like everything, there's so fucking many of them. Kinda nuts. What? Okay, that one's not red. This one's red. A new thing for Ultima, the otherworldly being behind much of the tragedy and turmoil that has plagued Bellastea. Ultima requires a vessel in which to inculcate his disembodied soul, and Clive's curious ability to absorb the powers of other icons suggests that he is the very mythos, or muthos, that Ultima has long awaited. He wills Clive to absorb the other icons that his vessel might be perfected. You start with just pixel remasters or something. I also just don't have time to, because there's all these games I want to play. Just don't have time for it. Muthos. The name by which Ultima addresses Clive, it appears to be his title for the vessel of limitless power that he means to make of the young Lord Marquess. Marquess. The being identifies Clive as the Muthos he has long sought by virtue of his awakening as the dominant of Ifrit and having the power to absorb the ether of other icons. I swear I read some of these. Primogenesis, a spell cast by Ultima that cast a roiling pall over all Ballistea. The unbalance in the ether that resulted not only sapped the potency of crystals and magic in those lands that remained livable, but filled the rest not only with his glowing thralls, but with ether floods, turning men and beasts into mindless, merciless Akashic. Play like every single FF bag or play Cold Steel 4 will take the same amount of time. Oh, it definitely feels that way. Cannot lie. And like I have to go, like I don't have the newest Trails game, but I have the others. I have the second Crossbow game, and I have Reverie sitting in my Steam library waiting to be played. But I have this, and then I gotta go back to Black with Wukong. Then I gotta go back to God of War, and then I have to play Baldur's Gate 3 at some point. Especially now that Dragon Age came out, because I'm sure Baldur's Gate 3 is 10 million times better. I don't know. I don't have time for it all. Philippe, Imperial soldier of the Northreach garrison, whose heart pines for none other than Isabel. He leads the stand against the threats Northreach faces and inspires his fellow soldiers to do the same. Conrad, master of the Dalamil kitchens, where he serves filling yet inexpensive fare to the people of the town and the miners of Drake's Fang. After his town was set upon by bandits, Conrad led the faction pushing for the recruitment of mercenaries to take bloody revenge. However, he was convinced to look instead at forming a town guard drawn from the citizens of Dalamil, of whom he became the inaugural leader. Gotten tired of it? I'm gonna play them all. And I'll play that Nayata one. Like the Boundless Trails thing. I'll play that at some point too. Natalie, a veteran trader of the Dalamil markets, turned leader of its new League of Merchants, the group responsible for filling and maintaining the town's collective stores. Though she loathed violence and argued vehemently against the plan to hunt down the bandits who attacked Dalamil, she's passionate about protecting the town and its people. When the bandits returned, she was the first into the fray. Oscar, nephew of Rogni Murdoch, late Lord Commander of the Rosarian Army. Though he served under Sir Wade and the Guardians of the Flame, he had always dreamed of following in his uncle's footsteps and squiring to a scion of the Rosfields. His wish is granted when Clive accepts him as squire and brings him back to the hideaway, that he might learn from Sid the Outlaw's example. Sir Wade, a loyal shield of Rosaria and leader of the Guardians of the Flame, who fight against imperial rule in the duchy, sheltering bearers from the Black Shields as cullings. After the skies turned their base in the Lazarus district outside Port Isolde was swallowed by an ether flood, leading them to seek shelter in Martha's Rest. In return for Martha's hospitality, the Guardians aid the Blood Axes in defending the village. The village. How are there this many? I did so little. How are there... Matthew playing Star Ocean 4 recently. What was the, like, subtitle name for that one? Was that, It's Not Till the End of Time. That is 3, I think. Last Hope. Oh, I did play that one. Like, fully beat and did, like, the... Did they call it Seraphic Gate? Or whatever? And, like, beat Area Queen and all that. I did all the things. I remember the like, accessory crafting was, like, really intense. Like, you could make, like, the most powerful things that you needed for, like, the end super bosses. Following Primogenesis, Valistea, a realm comprising the twin continents of Storm and Ash, over which the Mother Crystals stand timeless vigil. Timeless, that is, until Sid and his disciples commence their campaign to bring each one crashing down, spreading chaos and confusion to every corner of the land. When ill-omened clouds summoned by Ultima gather over Valistea, the delicate balance governing the magic-yielding power of Ether was finally shattered and the realm was changed forever. Okay, my voice is starting to go. There's only one in this category, so I'll do this. Post-Primogenesis Crystal, one of the most valuable materials known to mankind. Thanks to its ability to channel ambient ether from the air, allowing those without an innate power to do so to cast magics. After Ultima cast Primogenesis and the skies over Valistea darkened, many of the municipal crystals that fired forges and filled wells began to fail. In certain areas, even those rationed shards that the people relied on in their everyday lives lost their spark, making life all but unlivable.
Did you learn everything you needed?
Is a storm coming, Sid?
That would be like losing the internet in modern day. Like if they call it something. There's like a thing with the satellites, right? Where there's like an agency constantly watching it because there could be like a catastrophic cascade of events that just knocks out like the vast majority of satellites. Because there's just like random space garbage just whizzing around at like thousands and thousands of kilometers an hour or a second, just from like old debris. And all it takes is for one of those to hit something that causes that to go off course to hit something else, and then that goes off course, hit something else, and then it just breaks into this great cloud. And they would knock out, you know, a lot of communications across the world, and that would just really just...
What am I gonna do?
Shit would go pretty bad pretty fast. I reckon these skies are enough to give anyone the collywobbles, but I'm not gonna sit around hanging my head and twiddling my thumbs. Did enough of that back in Twinside while you were busy fighting that horrible dragon. Now that even horribler one.
But no more.
No more. From now on, I'm gonna do what you lot do and properly pull my finger out, no matter how much my knees are knocking. Can't have Nan and Blackthorn thinking I'm a great big wet blanket now, can I? So don't you worry about me. You just stick to what you do best, saving the world.
Is everything all right, Goots? You seem more discomposed.
Oh yeah,
than
just
usual.
a solar flare pointing in the exact right
I don't know
direction,
what that
yeah.
means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble, and she's...
It's all right. You can tell me.
It wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would feel like it. For a
There was
while.
a trader came by. One of our usuals, like. Said he'd heard some rotten rumours about her down Dallymill Way. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that.
The main thing that I've heard with that, like, cascade where, like, if just, like, shit just started crashing into each other and causing, like, mass debris in space around our planet, it could cause a cloud so dense that it is too dangerous to ever send anything out of the planet ever again. And we literally trap ourselves onto the planet until we find a way to, like, clean up all that debris. Because there's too much whizzing around so fast, like everything will get destroyed on its way out of the planet's orbit. That's like the biggest warning. Just like forget everything else. We will never be able to leave the planet. Because we're just surrounded by a cloud of swirling death.
I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing.
I was living out in the middle of nowhere until
give
recently,
your
and there's
tongue a
farms
lashing,
everywhere, and I
would
can
she?
confirm. Stardew Valley, very realistic.
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Oh, thanks, Clive. You'll let me know what she says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
I didn't listen to a word he said. I completely... Some of these side quests turned into, like, important, like, character stories, and then most of them aren't, though.
Lady Charon. How's business?
Not nearly as foul
Just
as
nuke the debris
weather.
in the atmosphere. That can't
You're
possibly go poorly.
Doing good trade, then? Both in and out of the hideaway?
That's probably akin to the solution we would have. We'd just find a way to incinerate it all.
Wait, what exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care, but here you are today raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto.
Just asking. Out
I
of
wonder if we
interest.
could do, like, some kind of laser wall
All
that
right.
incinerates everything that flies through it.
I'm here because I was told that certain rumors have been circulating about you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploits?
I didn't exactly hear firsthand. All I know is that someone in Dalimil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents, do you? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
I mean, I kind of hate
You're
you,
right,
so
Lady
I
Gaga.
don't know.
I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No, it was. Now, I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. Good day.
Can't believe you did that to me, Goots. Made me talk to Karen.
I spoke with Lady Charon,
What did she say?
that the rumors were unfounded, and that I was a fool for thinking they might hold any truth, along with some other things that made her feelings clear. And while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her past, she says those days are behind her.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
well.
How you doing, Despair?
That's good. I knew Nan wasn't caught up in out bad.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Why would people say she was? What did she ever do to them? It's not right.
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons. Perhaps we'll never know.
We're dead.
I'm going to find out. That traitor,
Are you undead
he
now?
said they were all talking about her in Dalimil. So that's where I'm going. I'll find someone who'll tell me, you'll see.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors means Charon ill.
Oh, right. But that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it, Clive?
I suppose it is.
If you were undead, what kind of undead would you want to be? I'd probably go with,
I
like,
heard the Emperor was in
Lich or Vampire or something.
We're all gonna
What do you reckon we should do?
I say we should just tell Michelle.
Lich for sure. Nice. Or Ghost.
Sid!
Ghost could be fun.
Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh,
And just how long hasn't it been one?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss
Vampires
Mididol.
get the sexy times in a lot of
Why would she
a
have
lot
you
of like
dismembering her
settings.
creations?
To be fair.
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we?
Dullahan. Would you get a horse too?
All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Mididol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces, the body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing.
Get over
You've
how
ridden
many
a chocobo
JRPGs are
before,
voiced by
haven't you, Sid?
English actors now?
Will you teach me to ride one day?
Project Rainfall is getting
think
off the
about
ground.
it.
Most of us non-Europeans
Now,
are like, you
what do
English
arms
voice
do?
actor is gonna sound awful.
hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers.
But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff.
You know whoever wrote
if I
like
wanted to weigh
crafter class
Don't
quests?
think you'd fit on that little thing.
They wrote this quest.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well
This is the exact kind of inane stuff that
Which
crafter
means
quests are
something must
filled
hold the
with, and they're
chains
so
up in
fucking boring. Just.
This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Mididol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the
This is
arm
making me
moved
want to make a
when I
Dragon
tried
Age
weighing
joke, and I
them.
haven't even played Dragon Age.
And then somebody ate it.
Probably never will.
Not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
You know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo.
And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
See, dialogue
good.
like this is
See
acceptable
if
when the
that
characters
works.
are actually children.
Ah, all finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Mididol's heirs.
Her hairs?
Yeah, heirs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Mididol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Bob is rigid. It's true, yeah. Not entirely, but...
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
It seems pretty common for, like, the main character's hair to be, like, fully animated and everyone else's is, like, not. I forget the time they made Tim Watson do his Ariane J voice acting doing my milkshake. Oh, I did see that. I have heard that, like, recording or video.
Will there be thunder?
It's really funny.
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.
Okay. I somehow still have 3 side quests. I thought I only had 3 in total. Did I pick up a 4th one along the way somewhere? What the fuck?
It seems the hideaway
kitchen
lost
one.
its appetite. Can you blame
I guess there was 4. I thought it was only 3 here. Alright. Well, I can only go this way right now, because story. Oh, I forgot he's coming with us. For the first time. Cloak and dagger.
It's like a dream. The 4 of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canva was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
You gotta pet the dog once in a while. Or give him a treat, or whatever.
The bandits may be no more, but look what they've left us with. A hard time.
It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
Are the bad men going to come back?
The gentlemen of the town guard are strapping from.
The town guard.
The finest cell swords in... Could be I know something more. What's it worth to you?
Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumours about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Charon's been selling steel to whoever'll pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, it just so happens I have.
Yes, he says that in a very trustworthy way.
Trade most days.
Here in Dalimil. Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
She's at the hideaway.
Lady Charon hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this stall he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but be careful, Clive.
Goots isn't the smartest man. I go all the way around.
The gentlemen of the town guard are strapping from.
Mummy.
You can see the 14. Yeah, it's this. If you've played 14, it's just like that game's DNA is all over this. And there have been several quests where it's like, go gather 3 herbs. And you have to go and gather the 3 herbs and then hand them in. And it's just like, this is very MMO quest.
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Uh-huh. Alright, have a good night, Soryu.
Leave now and we can pretend this didn't happen.
Fucking easy. I should really change out Flare Breath. That kind of sucks. Oh, hold on. That was a full-ass heal. Where the fuck are you? I dare you to hit me. How did that not count? There we go. This setup I have is really good at killing bosses, but not like huge groups of enemies. Taking a lot longer than it would if I had Titan on.
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
Yes.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Charon's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
Yeah.
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Charon. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalimil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
Do it.
You're not worth the effort.
Do it.
Now be gone. Before I change my mind.
Lame. I don't even get a choice.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goot. Right now.
It's ironic for that guy to call me the coward.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty-pated lout!
Stop calling me names!
Yeah.
Stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
And use names everyone can understand.
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Lord!
Goot, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood!
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of countless others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime, and I will not allow it to continue. Goots, was it? I have no quarrel with you. Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself!
Goot, no.
Enough, all of you!
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalimil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, she's very Matoya-like.
To taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs.
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault! And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goots, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck!
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself.
I've heard so many names, I don't know what any of them mean.
Wet legs. You remember what you told me when we last met?
Except for, the only one is wet legs. That
An
one
eye
is
for an
self-explanatory.
Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect.
Is she cutting out his tongue?
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It isn't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
Oh, she cut out an eye.
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me the Wet Legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough attention already. Ta-ra, Clive.
Hurrah. No one's ever said hurrah in this game so far.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble again.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalamil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did yesterday.
I mean, that's a bonus considering inflation. You mean prices won't go up tomorrow? Hell yeah. Ooh, I got a curiosity out of it. So you can read congratulations. I fucking hate you so much, Karen.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tires?
Continental Censer, an ornate brass censer from beyond the outer seas, gifted to Clive by Charon for his assistance in clearing her name. According to the cantankerous shopkeep, when packed with herbs and ambergris and left to smolder, the fragrant smoke produced can ward off everything from insects to the plague, protect a home from thieves and demons, and heal any number of ailments. All while bringing love and fortune. I mean, that's a big load of horse shit, but cool. I mean, I guess there's magic in this universe, so like maybe.
Have you heard the latest from Twinside?
Is he upstairs?
Never trust an owl bearing good news, I say.
Oh.
My lord Marquis, is that you? It is you. Then you received my letter.
Mm-hmm.
I am Sebastian Rutherford, chief steward of your lord uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your lord uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas...
Alas.
I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic, the other the old Imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalimil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
You know, they talk about unrealistic body standards all the time, and I just keep looking at Clive's stature. And like, even just a body shape like this is unattainable for the vast majority of men in this world. Like look at him. You can see his muscles through his thick leather vest. He's perfectly Dorito shaped. He's so like perfectly proportioned.
Anything catch your eye?
What was new in this shop? I had a thing on it. Maybe it was this demon tamer. Arm guards. That I don't need.
There you go. That all.
Yay, more money into the money sink. Alright, we're back to Dalimil.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.
Mummy, Are the bad men going to come back?
The gentlemen of the town guard are strapping them.
So I'm like day 3
Someone's got himself in trouble.
in being caffeine free for like I'm resetting my caffeine tolerance. And it's just like, it still just like hits me where I just get fucking sleepy.
Coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
And I spent a whole week like weaning myself off to avoid like headaches or like a nasty few days.
rob me.
I'll deal with this.
And so like I ramped it down. So really I started like 9 days ago.
You that one's master then. If you kindly
And I had 2
pay the
days where
coin us, we can pretend you didn't draw your blade on
my only caffeine intake was decaffeinated
Or you can
coffee,
go back
which
to your
is something
garrison and
like
I won't report you to your captain.
1 to 3% of the caffeine content of regular coffee. So it's like, it was so minor.
since we slit his throat.
Coffee is the main source, yeah. Lol. Hurt yourself more. Oh. I want to dodge. There we go. Do a level 3. I actually thought that too for a long time. Until I looked into it one day when I was doing like a decaffeinating round. And yeah, it's called decaf, not caffeine free. It's decaffeinated. So there is still like, it's a really small amount, but yeah. There is some caffeine in it. And that's why I was like, that's what I did for the last 2 days. When I was weaning. I gotten down to like 1 cup of tea and I was like, okay, I'll do a day or 2 of just decaf coffee because that'll be even less.
You've seen this kind of thing before then?
Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men.
Because I think something like a regular cup of coffee has something like 80 to 90
Then you have my thanks.
milligrams, and I
fancy I
think
could defend
decaf
myself
has like
against one,
2 or 3.
Perhaps 2, but a whole regiment. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more. And his men make the rules now.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist Central Command?
It's kind of like when you see those juices where they say no sugar added.
They are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital.
It has just as much sugar as the regular high sugar juice.
Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Because they didn't add white sugar to it,
Return to Rosaria.
but they added apple juice.
Safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north.
Or pear juice.
You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
If you actually look at the amount of sugar, it's the exact same amount of sugar.
Not at all.
No sugar added though.
To find this second associate of Rutherford's.
That kind of shit should be illegal. Like that's such a loophole.
I'll start at Northreach and see if I can pick up his trail.
I don't see that as much lately. Because I think people caught on and stopped buying it. Or at least I hope so. Because I stopped buying it. And I was just like, what is the fucking point if I'm gonna get like a lower sugar juice? I want an actual lower sugar juice. Not this bullshit.
There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere.
Of course, now when I buy juice, I just buy like the natural, like, they didn't add it, like the pure orange juice, where it's literally just, the ingredients list is just oranges. And that taste. Like, I buy juices like that now.
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent here by a man named Rutherford.
And then you found him. I am Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your Uncle Stuart. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed on the road here.
Bandits.
I would ever
More
give you
like
the
field
trash.
hands, but it didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pommel to the temple.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. I'll take care of them. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach, visit the Vale, tell them I sent you.
Thank you. I shall. Founder be your shield.
I'm always watching that kind of stuff and like on the lookout for that kind of stuff because I've been wanting to lose weight, and I have been losing weight. So, kind of working.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
Part of me is wondering if I should have just skipped the cutscenes for these quests, because I just, like, I don't even know what's happening. I'm not paying attention in the slightest.
Pretty boy.
So many, ow. So many hits. I got to 1.4. That'll have to do. I was saving for some kind of expensive skill point thing. I don't remember what it was or how much it was, but I have a lot.
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks, traveler.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive, and I'm fine. Which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gates.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrols. There are few hands left to work the fields, and even fewer to transport the grain. The market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, listen to me. If you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
Of course. I shall return to Northreach right away. But allow me to thank you first. Had you not happened along,
Don't thank me. Thank Rutherford. It was he who sent me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Pistolus as soon as I'm able. Good day.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece.
I completely forgotten who sent me on this quest. This is how little attention I've been paying, and I just like suddenly realized I'm just zoning out or talking about something else.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have resumed their investigations, thanks to you.
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we must work quickly. And we must work together. Such is your Lord Uncle's wish.
As it is mine.
I thought I got 10,000 gil for that. I was like, holy shit. Reduces flare breath cooldown. It already comes off cooldown as soon as the skill is done. Or it feels like it does. It's honestly a terrible skill. It does, like, no damage and you're stuck just doing it. Go back to Impulse or something. Kind of want to go back to Titan. I like this setup. I go Wicked Wheel, Upheaval. Wind Up is good. Oh yeah, no, Wind Up is the one I like. Raging Fist is the counter, right? Yeah. If I have Rook's Gambit as a counter, I don't need Raging Fist as a counter. Earth and Fury is pretty good though too. The Titan ultimate. I do want to go. I do like this setup. I want to go back to this, I think. I don't know what I was saving my points for. What I kind of want to do is master Heatwave, because then I can use it with any icon. Because this is the one ability I've been missing out the entire game. Like ever since I got Titan, I've just been using these three elements. So I think what I would do is this one I like, but then I'll just switch out Thunderstorm or Heatwave. Then I have a melee counter or projectile counter. Two earth ones I like. These two combo together, and then the big damage on a single target. Maybe I can upgrade some of the ones I'm using. What happens when I master Limit Break? A fourth gauge? Oh, I should get that actually. Okay, we'll save for Limit Break. Should have got that a long time ago, honestly.
But there were ghosts at the gates, not days ago. the meadows then.
The worst part about this Primogenesis spell is now everything is all dim and dreary everywhere I go. Don't care about
Be
you.
able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot.
Yeah, like right there.
This must be our wyvern. All right, let's get this over with.
Still not dead? That's impressive.
That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent.
What is a heady scent? If a scent is heady, what does it smell like?
I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
Stimulating.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well,
Intoxicating.
At least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, you stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about.
I mean, it looks more appetizing
we
than
have
the
it.
last one.
Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honor than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
Maybe just killed a man.
So, not fit for consumption then.
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness.
I don't think I've ever described a flavor
It
as
is the
violent
piquant
before.
kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of flavor and sensation, a graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
How did she not taste this herself already? This is why she's failing as a cook.
And I defy any man to say a word to the contrary.
She's not tasting her own food.
Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
This is why in Futurama, robots couldn't be cooks. Except for like that one famous TV one. Why Bender failed as a cook. They don't know what food tastes like. They can't taste their own food and go, oh, that's good. They don't have tongues. Do you not test your own food? I got to 2,000 a lot faster than I thought I would. Okay. Something... Wait, that's Alliant reports. But I just... Oh. I was gonna say, I'm like, I already did all the side quests. There's one more. There's one more in the new place.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Storms are brewing.
I was wondering when next you'd visit.
I'm amazed that I can do like 2 side quests.
If you have a
and that
question
still gives
for
me new entries.
I should be happy to answer it.
Charon, a hidden past, one of Sid's most trusted allies. Merchant by trade, Charon was born in lands beyond Valistea. She came to the twins as a weapons dealer, selling to anyone willing to pay, an attitude that earned her not only a fortune, but a price on her head. It was while fleeing from her many enemies that she met Sid, who gave her refuge in exchange for her exclusive services. Her hard-working assistant Goots, who she calls her right eye, she bought from his neglectful parents. Goots, an apprentice to Charon and ally of the Hideaway, Charon purchased Goots from his neglectful parents after witnessing how they abused and undervalued their child, and it has been his pleasure to serve her ever since. His Nan feels much the same way about him, going so far as to call him her right eye. On the rare occasions, she lets her true feelings slip. I missed this bit. I didn't know she bought Goots. Crazy. Molly, chief cook at Clive's Hideaway, who inherited the role from Kenneth after he lost his life in Titan's attack. Molly's true passion lies in the baking of pastries and other sweetmeats, but alas, shipments of sugar to Hideaway are few and far between. Instead, she pushes the boundaries of her culinary repertoire by assisting Yvonne in reviving the questionable dishes proffered by his questionable cookbook. In Rutherford, manservant to Lord Byron Rosfield, in normal circumstances, his daily duties touch all aspects of running his master's manor. Of late, however, Byron has bade him leave the safety of Port Isolde to conduct a survey into the political, military, and economic situation of Storm, a task in which he has enjoined the assistance of several of his fellow butlers to the nobility. Not purchased. Did I read that wrong? I didn't read it wrong. She straight up owns him like a slave. Are you saying it like ew? I mean, it seems more like adoption. I guess you could describe adoption as buying a child. Engineering, the technology of the fallen civilization, was highly advanced. And though many an archaeologian and engineer has sought to study the workings of the curious contraptions they left behind, little light has yet been shed on their secrets. Engineers of the present day largely learn from each other. Indeed, the knowledge that Mid learned in the University of Canver, she now shares with the children of the Hideaway, that they might one day stand on her shoulders. Valistea, a culinary pilgrimage, an ancient recipe book that instructs one how to make toothsome fare from the game of the realm. Though the outdated tongue in which it is penned makes it difficult to divine precisely what beast is being proposed for the pot. It was discovered in the shelves by Yvonne as he hunted for inspiration to expand his culinary repertoire. And expand it he did, 74th, the Chancer's Stew, a piquant, some might say putrid ragout of scorpion tails whose flesh was as soft as the silt of the swamps in which they live, and the flavor similarly comparable. The Hideaway's head chef Molly was not to be outdone, however, drawing from the pilgrimage's pages a fried mortress of skyworm. The dish, consisting of wyvern livers sautéed with Saint's bonnet, was heralded a tour de force among those who tasted it. Alright. Following the destruction of Twinside, the imperial province of Rosaria. A nation formerly known as the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, occupying the western reaches of the continent of Storm, while Rosaria has been a vassal state of the Empire for nigh on 2 decades. The uprising in Twinside, led by Prince Dion Lesage and his loyal dragoons, and subsequent death of both Holy Emperor and Empress in the year 878, has left Sambrec with barely the wherewithal to rule itself, rendering the erstwhile dukedom a subject of the Empire in name and little else. The Blood Axes, the band of sellswords tasked with the protection of Martha's Rest, in the absence of any assistance from the nearby Imperial garrison. It falls to them to keep watch on the roads and keep the beasts and bandits of the swamplands from Martha's Gate. Sun's Betrayal, the Holy Empire of Sambrec, a nation occupying the northeastern reaches of the continent of Storm, after its administrative capital moved to Twinside in the neighboring Crystalline Dominion in the year 873, an insurgency led by Prince Dion Lesage upended the political and military order, spreading unrest and disruption across the land. This disruption was further worsened when Ultima unleashed Primogenesis, obliterating Twinside and plunging the realm yet deeper into chaos. The town guard, the volunteer fighting force assembled and led by Conrad. Unlike the men of the Rock or the mercenaries previously charged with keeping Dalimil safe, every member of the guard is a Dalimilian born and bred and has the future of the town at heart. Many of the miners who lost their livelihoods when Drake's Fang fell have found a new purpose in the guard, swinging swords and axes in place of picks. The League of Merchants, a group responsible for filling and maintaining Dalimil's collective stores, that all might be supported in these troubled times. It draws its membership from the traders of the town and is led by Natalie, overseer of the markets. It was she who recognized that Dalimil's future could not be secured by force of arms alone. Only by bringing the entire town together might they summon the strength to drive back the bandits. Man of the Rock. Yeah. I like a Man of the Rock. Tell you what. Lord Underhill. Clive's alter ego, albeit one that was forced upon him by Lubor's fondness for theatrics. It was Lord Underhill of the Randalal League of Merchants who made it known to Natalie that help from the capital would not be forthcoming and that the people of Dalimil must work together to fill their own stores. Jill was rather more convincing in the role of Lady Jane of the Red Wings, who planted the idea of forming a town guard in Conrad's mind. Both Conrad and Natalie still address Clive by his name, though in Natalie's case, this would appear to be naught but a courtesy to his dramatic efforts. Tabor, an ancient settlement in central southern Dalmekia that seems to cling to the very cliffs which dominate the landscape of the region. Its proximity to the free cities of Canver give Tabor a ready market for the high-quality leather its tanners produce, as well as the salt and minerals mined from beneath it. The town's long history of isolation, however, has clouded the hearts of its residents, and to this day many remain unwelcoming to outsiders. This is the last one, and then I'm caught up. Oh. Machinations. The kingdom of Waloed, the sole surviving nation in Ash. Waloed has its capital at Stonehur, home of the mother crystal of Drake's Spine. It is ruled over by Barnabas Tharmer, dominant of Odin and warden of darkness, who, it transpires, has formed an alliance with a mysterious being known as Ultima. Oh, caught up.
You are always welcome, Clive.
So many fucking entries. I have some things to do here before I leave. Will there be thunder? Yes, there will.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into time?
Where's my squire?
All their fancy
It's not by my door. On our own terms. I regret that both you and the lump had to get all tangled up in the wicked weave of my sordid past. But thanks to your meddling, I was finally able to put to rest matters that were left too long to fester. With that finally done, might be I can sit back and enjoy this new world of yours you're so keen on creating. One don't need a pair of eyes to see the good you've done. Yes. Yes. Alright, that's just telling me about the side quest here. We're supposed to go. Finally, after an hour and a half. We're gonna do main story, but first, I'm gonna take a quick break. And I accidentally made a new save file. I have accidentally made a new save file like 3-4 times. Doesn't matter. I'll be back in a few minutes.